But the question though, the question is, because I can understand, that somebody would turn like that, but it's not bad. It's a good friend of mine. He has a good heart. He's extremely nice. Like even his niceness is something that I can't put words on, right? Even though he had a shitty childhood, no affection, no anything, but he turned out to be one of the nicest men you can ever find. So how will you explain that? Because the question is, people say we are born fundamentally good, and then because society is the way it is, it turns out bad. Or they say we're born fundamentally bad, like our genes and everything is built to be bad and violent, but we can improve. And others say we're just neutral. And then like you, for the attachment theory, I feel like it's a little bit like number two, like a little bit neutral. And then everything would all, I can see your orientation in counseling and psychology based on your answer. Now it's more like tabula rasa, the fact that experiences shapes our behavior. Is the way we're raised and all this that will define how we are. So that's just one layer, one way of looking at human nature. Because there's another layer that says, no, there are people who had shitty childhoods, and no role model and anything. Even attachment theory has a new orientation in it that says, is it repair? How do you call it? I have a student who was writing a dissertation that was going to be her chair in the school. That is what she was working on. And it's new. Repair secure attachment. Basically, the new movement in attachment theory is, yes, if you're raised insecure because of absent parent or ambivalent because of parent here today, not here tomorrow, and things and all that, and you grow with insecure attachment, that there is a way to repair it. Like return secure attachment. There is a way to rewind it and redevelop a secure attachment, based on your relationships with friends, with dating partners and group belonging groups and all that. That there is a way that this could compensate for the insecure attachment that you were born with. That is a way to rewind it, and that is her dissertation. So you can understand that this is one layer of what the question is, because are we fundamentally bad or are we fundamentally good, or are we neutral? But your answer is pretty clear. We are neutral, and then the way we're raised. So I can see that it's a purely psychological pro-nurture argument. Okay. So so something also that I want to bring in is, for example, for me, I'm more into the gray area. I usually really don't want to see things black and white. I don't believe anything in the world is black and white. I just believe, maybe, I don't know, it's just my nature, to always look at things from a gray area. Like, what is it that I'm missing and what it is that I'm not seeing. So I can argue all these three elements with enough logical things to support them. But because we don't have the time, let me just take the number one, which sometimes I tend to believe in, but I also can have the counter to it. No, the number three, that we're fundamentally born bad and violent. Bad means violent and aggressive. That's what I mean by bad. So if I speculate, that human beings are created with molecules. When the stars exploded and new life came out of the fragments and the molecules, and we inherited that's where we're coming from. You know that. That's part of science that explains the human origin in terms of the thing that makes our body. The molecules that make our body are the molecules that make the universe, like the stars and all that. You know that, right? So in a way, we're descendants of universal materials, molecules, stars, dead, and then give birth to us. So there are some people who show the way the molecule work in the brain and the way the stars move in the sky side by side on Facebook to show that, or even the way the cells, our cells are born, grow and destroy and regenerate, born, grow on one side, and the way the stars are born, grow and explode, and then reborn and develop and explode side by side, to show that there is no difference really between us and universal materials, elements like stars. So for me, I take it from there to make the argument that we are inherently born aggressive and violent, and society teaches us to restrain that. That's why the European understood that. That's why they developed themselves very quickly and set themselves apart to say they are civilized, meaning they can control that animalistic, the brain, the animal brain, which is very violent, emotion driven. And they say primitive people remain at that animal brain thing. The neocortex, the new brain, is a latest finding. It's very, very new. It's pretty recent, just a few hundred years old, that they discovered that we have the capacity of reason in the new cortex. They're still studying it, right? But humanity was operating for a very long time with the old brain, the reptilian brain, right? So, and that brain is not civilized. That brain is pretty much violent. That brain is pretty much animalistic. And that is where most people have been existing. And those who conquer the civilized part quickly now try to, like Freud, control and repress, those, in the id, the things that cannot be acceptable in civil societies. So that is the way that I usually discuss the human nature in terms of explaining violence and aggressivity that we see in human nature. Because when you look at but in a way you can give them credit, because no society in the world has been able to develop what they've done. So that is pretty evidence. That is something that you cannot argue against, because you and I, for example, all we do is based on what Europeans have set up in terms of development and technology and all that. So for me, I can understand that they understood a lot of things quickly. But I also see where you come from, because all the society that came before the white people, like the ancient Egyptian, knew those things, understood those things, but did not develop them in ways of dominating other people, in ways of universalizing them and controlling it in order to control other people and call them primitive. They did not, but they knew. They were civilized, they understood, they built the pyramids. So I can understand where you're coming from. So you have a valid argument.